Breaking news, according to my source, NRS is strongly considering getting rid of the variation system. And by God, I cannot help but to tell you this may be a fantastic idea. Now, a lot of you are probably like, what do you mean get rid of the variation system? Don't worry, I'm going to break that down for you. But before I do that, I must warn you that this information has not been verified by NRS, WB, WB Discovery, WB Games, any of their affiliates. You are simply hearing information that you're not supposed to have access to begin with. Now that we've established that, let's go ahead and get to the news that you actually came here for. Now, my source informed me that NRS is strongly considering dropping the variation system so they can have more time to focus on other things. Here's the reason why. Now, I did not look at it this way, but when my source explained it, I was like, yeah, that's a lie. So they have to literally create 3 characters. They need to create 1 character 3 times, which is 3 different variations on how they play, especially as a default system. So if you were to purchase Mortal Kombat 11 right now, you can pick 3 different variations which already come to the game that they have to make, place, and all of that stuff. Same thing with MKX. Now, variations have always been a part of the Mortal Kombat legacy, because even in Deadly Alliance you had different variations. It was slightly different, meaning that you can choose 2 different fighting styles, and you also can choose a weapon, is what you were able to do at that point in time back then. Now, I do have some updated information on weapons that's going to be in a different video, but let's stay on topic here. So the reason for this is that if they remove the variation system, it's going to allow them to do more and save up more space, meaning they can get stuff done in a shorter time frame. Example number 1, meaning that if they are to keep 1 variation, my source told me, they would still include the custom moveset feature, meaning that if you were to click on Sonya, right, you can go through Sonya's entire list and you can equip moves. You'll still be able to equip moves. The only difference is you won't be able to pick different variations that are set as templates or default variations. Now, this does not mean that you can't make your own variations, because you still will be able to make your own variations, except NRS will not be doing it for you. Now, should they consider to move through with this idea? It makes sense from a business perspective, because it's like, why should we do that when we can just let the player do all of that work, and it gives them more sense of being in control, and they can kind of focus that energy on something else, or put more team members to work on another feature that's a part of the game. So I want to pass my first question off to you guys in the comment section below. How do you feel about NRS considering to remove the variations from Mortal Kombat 12, but still allowing you to equip moves and to create your own custom variations that can be a part of the character? When you click on them, you can just slide over and pick another variation that you created. Again, I think it's very, very smart. It's very smart. Now, I asked him, is there a specific reason that this is being removed? And he told me that they're experimenting with returning the weapons variation. Now, again, I'll have a full entire video on that. I'm gonna speak on it just slightly here, but I'll release that under its own video, giving you more details. I still have more questions for my source that needs to be answered before I do that video, so it can be a full video and you can get a good amount of length on that video. So basically, what I'm told is this, is that by bringing back weapons, it will add an entirely different dynamic to the game, because there were a lot of complaints about the weapons that were used in Mortal Kombat 11, such as Jade's freaking power pole extend that she borrowed from Kid Goku, you know, that gave her an unfair advantage versus other players. Now, a lot of us can chalk it up and be like, well, hey, that's just a part of the game, you know, advantages and disadvantages. But just imagine if people actually had to click a button to pull out Jade's staff to use it against people, then maybe the fight would be a little bit different if the other person can just pull out Scorpion's sword and just kind of go to town on them. That would make for a really good weapon system, if you ask me. I think that would kind of even the battlefield. But if you got one person, their weapons longer than the other, it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You bound to, you know, you bound to lose unless you can hit a button to pull out that knife, and that knife got a couple of special abilities, give you more damage, whatever the case may be. I think that would be extremely dope in order for them to implement something like that, or for something like that to happen. So second question is, do you think they should include the weapons variation back into the game that we had in Daily Alliance, that we had in Armageddon, I think that would be really dope. I personally think that would be dope. Now let's get back onto the topic of this video, which is the fact that they're changing variations. If they're going to do that, imagine how much time they will save. Like, just imagine having to make 3 different characters in every Mortal Kombat, like for the entire roster, which is what they had to do. This is the reason why a lot of characters did not make the game, such as Ermac, Reptile, Smoke, a lot of other characters. They did not make it because all of this work has to be done. Every bone crunch, every outfit had to be done, every variation had to be done. So what they did was, even though Shang Tsung was not fully finished, they took those other characters and their classic costumes and they combined it all into Shang Tsung to put him in the game. It was an excellent, brilliant idea that solved the problem of Shang Tsung not being finished development, and people were able to kind of still see their favorite ninjas, but notice they only had one move because those characters were in early development when they were a part of Shang Tsung's moveset. They did not get finished in time, so that's why they did not make it at all. And other characters like Takeda and Kung Jin, a lot of them were referenced. Now, I am told that NRS is looking to continue the competitive market. Like, that's a no-brainer. Anybody knows that they're going to continue competing in the competitive field, which is awesome. So we will be getting this next Mortal Kombat 12 game that will allow NRS to give frequent updates, frequent changes, and that's going to increase the lifespan of the game. This is what a lot of other games are doing also, where they're continuously dropping content. For example, my favorite example is Grand Theft Auto. That game came out in 2013. You can correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, and they are still dropping content for that game to this day. That is a dream of any company, to have a game that lasts that long to where people can anticipate the next one. And just imagine if we were still playing Mortal Kombat 11 to this day. I'm talking about if the game was doing well. We're getting DLC packs. Now, I understand you don't want to continue to give your audience multiple DLC packs because you'll have nothing left for the future to give them. But they could have continued to drop skins, like Christmas skins. They could have continued to drop, you know, a lot of things in the game, as well as Combat League. They could have put a lot of fun things in there and gave us different brutalities, fatalities, those type of things. Now, being a businessman myself, I understand to develop some of these things, it costs money. It costs a lot of money to get these animations and get these things done, but they still have assets from previous games like Mortal Kombat X. I don't think nobody in their right mind will be upset with NRS if they took some fatalities from MKX and they implemented it into MK11. For example, if they made Cassie's fatality from MKX downloadable in MK11 by having you purchase it off the store and called it a classic finisher or something like that. Like, come on now, they can easily recycle all of the fatalities that they spent their hard-earned money on in their time to put them in future installments of the game. That right there is how you keep a game running. But then anyway, I'm gonna speak on that in a rant video. I'll probably do my first rant video about NRS. I'll probably do something like that. But again, this whole variation thing, me personally, I think it's a fantastic idea that they're going to get rid of it should they decide to actually pull the trigger on that, because nobody really used variations. Like, I'm gonna pass this question off to you guys in the comment section below. Do you guys really use variations like that, or do you just use your custom variation? You know, like, be honest. Do you use the one that NRS created as defaults, or do you create your own? If you say you use your own custom one, then I'm pretty sure you can agree, right, that having the other 3 is useless when you can create your own. Wouldn't that make sense? Because I can tell you this right now, I didn't use NRS custom variations. When I first got the game, I went and undid damn near everything that they did. Meaning that I went and made my own custom variations, my own custom names. I changed everything to fit the way I wanted it to fit. I even changed some of the controls. I went into settings and changed some of the button mapping around because I wanted the game to play a certain type of way, the way I wanted it to play. So taking the extra workload off their hand, you know, I don't think it's an issue if they allowed us to kind of, you know, just have one variation where you had to customize your own variation, or they can do two where they give you a default variation, which they would do anyway, and then the next one is kind of like you got the little custom variation, which would be dope too. So again, I look at it this way: we in for one hell of a ride when it comes to Mortal Kombat 12. I'm excited to see how they're going to compete with all the competition out there, the new Tekken, the new Street Fighter. Somebody's got to give. It's a triple threat match going on right now. Everybody done showed their hand. Now we waiting for NRS to show their hand. They usually say save the best for last. Well, we getting ready to see just how true that statement is. I'm being mega honest with you right now. Street Fighter 6 got all my attention, and as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm not even a Street Fighter fan, to be honest with you, but what they're doing with that game, the increase of graphics, they dropped the cartooniness just a little bit, which makes it feel like a more mature game for me to play, because I told you guys I dropped anime a while back and I just dropped that whole entire style. So the fact that they're doing something realistic with it, it's just fantastic. If anything, I will always pick Tekken over Street Fighter when I'm not playing Mortal Kombat back in the day. So we got three heavy hitters on the table, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it would be so dope if we're able to see Killer Instinct. If Killer Instinct is able to make a return, oh my lord, that would be fantastic. If we can get a Killer Instinct, some type of fatal four-way fighting game, that would be fantastic. Killer Instinct, we do 5 characters from Killer Instinct and 5 from Mortal Kombat, 5 from Street Fighter, 5 from Tekken. That would be dope. So I'm actually gonna do a video on that. We're gonna have some fun with that, and we'll pick the roster. I think that'll be fantastic. Maybe it can turn into a thing, or whatever the case is. You know, again, if you're watching this video for the first time and you watched it all the way up to this point, we're 12 minutes and some change in this video, man, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, because this is your brand new favorite and exclusive place for daily Mortal Kombat content, and that's something you can't deny at all, you know. Now I do want to take a quick second to give a shout out to my mods, you know, Auntie, Sendell, Nick, and all the rest of the mods that are down there, Combat Kid, Brian. I want to give a shout out to all you guys. And if I forgot anybody, my bad, I apologize. I'm not really good with remembering names like that. But I do look forward to seeing you guys in the Discord. The Discord link will be in the comment section. It will be pinned for those of you that are Mortal Kombat fans that want to chat and continue this conversation. You can continue it in the Discord. Mods, make sure that you post the Discord link so everybody can have access to it. And we should be good from there. We're gonna start building this Discord back up, so that way people can have a place to talk. I've been kind of slipping on the Discord thing because I've been very busy, but make sure that you join the Discord in the description below. With that being said, guys, this has been your boy TheWaveReport, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.